Former pitcher. Mets have some exciting young pitchers on the roster right now that are up here starting in the majors. Had them come up late in the season. What do you make of what you've seen from Jonah Tong, Brandon Sproat, and Nolan McLean? What have you made of those three?
I'll start with Nolan because he has got a Bugs Bunny joystick breaking ball that is next level unusual, and it's the reason why. Not only reason why, because he's got two different fastballs, exceptional velocity. But he's got a breaking ball that is a plus. It's out of the norm metrically of what major league hitters see every night. There's a reason why he's dominating the way he is. It's so exciting to see young, talented players, especially player-developed players, that come through an organization. The Mets did a nice job with him. You mentioned about Tonga and who was the third guy?
Brandon Sproat.
Oh, Brandon, yeah. No, Brandon, I saw him in spring training enough. Yeah, no, look, when you have young electric arms, which all of them have it, and they all have it each a unique pitch. I mean, Tonga has the unbelievable changeup, high release point. I think it's exciting to not only dream on this year, and I know things have been going sideways for the Mets. I believe they hang on, and that it's a reset. We got more playoff teams. There's 12 teams in postseason. Anything can happen. But if I'm looking at the Mets moving forward, this is a really nice threesome to grow as they grow as major leaguers.
Mets fans panicking a little bit right now. Lost 5 in a row. You know how things can go in September, Al. You believe they will make it and reset. What's it going to take for them to be a bit more consistent than we've seen this season?
So it's simple. It's the Los Angeles Dodger model that has always been. You have to get good pitching. If you get good pitching and you get good relief, and it's been a little bit bulky there, especially on the back end with a couple of their middle relievers. Those are the most disheartening losses. You could ask my old manager. You're leading a game and you lose the lead in the 7th or 8th or worse in the 9th. Those are gut punches. Here's why. I mean, the game is quirky. It's the reason why it's 162 games, the reason why it's a marathon. There's so much talent in that dugout, in that clubhouse, in that bullpen, that I believe that ultimately really good players rise, they prevail based on the back of their baseball card. And until proven otherwise, there's too much talent there for this team to not be able to figure it out. And I know the time's running out because I only got couple weeks.
How do you feel about this Mets team right now with the way they're playing in September?
I don't think it's panic yet. I do think that sense their has risen a little bit. And I think, look, you don't want to have to scoreboard watch. And the reality is they still have their destiny in front of them and they control their own destiny. Every time you deal with winning that day, just don't think about anything else. You can't think about getting to the playoffs. You can't think about the bad things that have just happened. You think about winning that day, you have a better chance to go 1-0 that day. And guess what? If you go 1-0 that day, you don't even have to look at the scoreboard because they can't gain on you if you go 1-0 that day. So I feel like that has to be the mentality. And there's a lot of pressure that gets put on a team that's seen the decline and feels people creeping up on them. And San Francisco's feeling confident right now. So you have to block all of that out and try to go 1-0 that day. That's all you can do.
I think when people look at the team this year, some fans will say they've been pretty inconsistent. How do you build that consistency this late in the season? Is that possible, or is it just, as you just said, taking it one step at a time, trying to go 1-0 each day?
I think you can only hope that you get consistent for the last 2.5 weeks of the season, and you just and find a way to get into one of those hotter streaks that they've seen along the year. But I've been commenting about it all year. It's a really unusual year in baseball as a whole. There's been so many streaks, both good and bad, for really good teams. Dodgers had long winning streaks and losing streaks. Milwaukee Brewers, arguably the best team in baseball for the last couple of months, lost 6 in a row. There's just been that type of year where it's really difficult to maintain the level of consistency throughout the year. And so I think the Mets have had a little bit more of an extreme of that inconsistency, but it is something that I've recognized this season and something you got to try to battle your way through and remain as, like I said, as steadfast on their goal for that day. That's the only way that you can really combat it.
So, Todd, one of the things I think fans are excited about, right, are these young pitchers. Jonah Tong, Nolan McLean, Brandon Sproat, very excited about them. What do you think about each of them and their potential here in the Mets uniform now?
I think they are worthy to be excited about. I think they're It's not often that you have a major league prospect in the minor leagues as a pitcher that can come up and make an immediate impact. It's really unusual to have two, and it's a unicorn like to have three. So what we've seen out of them is that they all have stuff. They all have big league stuff. What we're also seeing is that a guy like Nolan McLean has been unflappable. And Jonah Tong is in making adjustments at the big league level after just his first two starts. And then Brandon Sproat, who had an amazing debut, is a guy that I think has a huge upside. So I think it's worthy to be excited about it. I think they're going to have an impact for the Mets to get to where they want to go, and that's to play in October. These guys are going to have an impact in the next 3 weeks.
Last thing for me, Todd, when you look at that, you just mentioned about the Mets playing October, which fans would absolutely like to see. Do you believe this team still has everything to go deep and have a deep October run coming up shortly?
Yeah, I absolutely do. That's something that I've never wavered about, because I think the talent level on this team is immense. I think if when you go into the short series, into the playoffs, everything gets intensified, and you've got some guys on here that have been through it, that have had success on the big stage, that when the lights get bright, they step up, and you have some of those young arms that I think can really solidify a potential short series rotation and bullpen that are the things that you need to go deep. And then, as we've seen during some of their hot streaks during the course of the season, they can play like the best team in baseball and beat the best teams that are out there when they're playing their best. So absolutely have what it takes. It's just a matter of whether they can harness it at the right time.
When you look at this Mets team this year, they've had some struggles recently. What do you make of what they're going through right now in September, and how confident are you they can still make the playoffs?
Oh, I'm very confident in them. I mean, it's a great squad. Every team is going to have its ups and downs during the season. We still have a lead in the wild card. I have a lot of confidence in this team to continue to get into the playoffs. I really feel that they have the squad to get in there, and led by Carlos. I think Carlos is doing a tremendous job with the squad, and the guys are going through a tough time, and it's not for lack of effort. They're out there trying, and it's just in one of those ruts, and just the timing of it's bad right now because everybody's getting a little nervous because it's got the end of the season, but I think they'll be fine.
So you think they'll be fine. One of the things I got to ask you as a pitcher, everybody's excited about the young pitchers, Jonah Tong, Nolan McLean, Brandon Sproat. What do you make of these young pitchers, and do you think all three of them could be pitching in the postseason for the Mets?
Well, that's above my pay grade, so I don't make those decisions, but I'm sure if they're pitching well and the playoffs come around, and that's a decision that the general manager is going to have to make, and the manager is going to have to make, and pitching coach. If they're pitching well, I don't see why not. I mean, they're a shot of fresh air for the organization. They're three young kids who come up who have pitched well, and I think if we do get in the playoffs, we'll see what happens.
Last thing for me, John, as a fellow Brooklynite, played for the Mets, pitched for the Mets, what would it mean for you to see the Mets win a championship this year or in the near future? What would that mean for you to see that?
Oh, it mean a lot for me. I grew up a Met fan, and I was fortunate enough to play 15 years for the Mets. So I still work with the organization. So it'll mean a lot for me. It's a long time coming, since '86. It was our last championship. And we've been in the World Series twice after that, and unfortunately we lost twice. But I think it'll be great for the organization and the Met fans.